even from a ship standpoint, the only game that really fits that is Squadrons. Which Squadrons is a good game. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind Squadrons. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I think it's a pretty decent game. But you know, you can't go play Fallen Order and get like ship to ship combat. You know what I mean? Dude, there's something wrong with your voice.
Looks good here. I'll be at my booth if you need me.
Hey, I'm glad I finally caught up with you. I'm from the Trackers Alliance, and we have a proposal for you.
Dude, I would 100%. 100%. Yep, that's what I was about to say. I would 100% play another Star Wars FFG game where we were all rebel pirates or we were a rebel task force. Like, as much as I complain about Star Wars never getting out of that era, like in movies and TVs and stuff, like in a roleplay opportunity, in a roleplay sense, 100%. I would absolutely love that. You and I, all three of us, just like, all three of us, or all four of us if Loxon ever came back, but like all of us just being rebel pirates and getting like pilots and getting like orders and stuff, going to like bomb places and yada 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 and all that good stuff. I assume that was a, did you get that? Did you get that, Gem? Make sure it's a real one, because Stream Elements got it. I can't see it right now.
Well then, this may be your lucky day. The Trackers Alliance.
But yeah, no, I would absolutely be down for that.
There you'll meet with Agent Number 1. If you decide to consider our offer, they'll guide you through our initiation.
Gotcha. And like now I know the secret, which is not to play a melee person unless you have a lightsaber. That's the secret of that game.
Speak to Agent Number 1.
Like, my law enforcement guy in your game was absolutely taking shop. It was incredible. Oh yeah, no, me and you both, man. Me and you both. Star Wars RPG.
Well, of course, that's sure possible.
Before we played D&D together, we all played Star Wars. That's how we all met, was Star Wars RPG, which is very, very different than D&D. And honestly, Jem, you would probably love it because it is very, very narrative focused. That's one of the reasons why I had a problem with the melee on it. But like, it is tabletop, yes, but it is like you could play a diplomat in that game. You can play a homesteader. You can play a scientist. You don't have to be a melee specific class. Like you can be. Then there are melee specific classes like spy, bounty hunter, pilot, scoundrel, all of that good stuff. But like, yeah, you could go a completely like speaking role. Yeah, you can even build your own starships.
No, yes, no, and I will certainly mark June 11th on my calendar. As for Aquila City, well, the air purifier...
Yeah, Star Wars is a very narrative-focused game. The only problem I have with besides the besides this the blah, 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 what am I trying to say? Besides the melee in that game, and like the only other problem with that game is there's a lot of dice to roll. It can get a little confusing. All that you have to roll. It's not simple like D&D where you just roll a d20. Yeah, it's not. So that's the one thing. But then also, it can get kind of a little weird because, like in D&D, it feels weird when you don't roll a success. But in Star Wars, it can kind of feel extra weird because you're specifically rolling to get successes, and you can get no successes, but you can still get like a ton of what they call advantage. So, like, you can get 6 advantage if you're rolling high enough, but you can get no successes. So then you're like, well, what do I do with the advantage? And then you have to figure out a narrative way to use the advantage. Yeah, or you can get a triumph, but that's a whole other thing. But what it mostly boils down to is just giving somebody else more threat or giving somebody else more, like, disadvantage. Because there's not a lot you can do narratively. Like, if I shoot to hit you, and I don't get any successes, but I get a bunch of advantage, it is. That's the one thing about it is it is a more complicated game, I feel, because there are a lot more dice at play. So, like, say I could say I'm going to hit this person, and I can roll 0 successes, but I can roll, like, 3 advantage. Okay, well, how do you want to spend the advantage? Well, now I narratively have to figure out what my miss did. And most of the time it's just going to be, I'm going to give the person next to me, the person who's next on the turn order, I'm going to give them some success, some boost die or something like that. And that's kind of how you play it. But I do think it is more complicated, but I could almost guarantee you would probably enjoy it more. Because, again, it's very narrative focused. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know anything about it when I went to play. RGM, the game I played with you guys in RGM was my very first time playing it. And, like, I definitely learned some things. I learned some things that I would definitely change. But, like, it was still a fun experience. But it does have all the complications that, like, D&D has. Like, again, I specifically built Dea to be a seductress. Like, that was what she was kitted out to be. That was where her stats leaned towards. And I even had a racial class bonus that specifically made me better at it. And throughout that entire campaign, I only ever managed to seduce someone 2 times. And I tried. I tried so hard to make that be her main weapon. I did it all the time, and I don't remember. I'd have to pull up her sheet, but it must have been quite a bit because again she was spec towards it. And remember, she got like boost die when she did charm because of the pheromones that her race gave off. But yeah, but I think you'd enjoy it. I've thought about going back to it. I was sad that I had to leave Jaspero's campaign because I would have gladly stayed in it. Yeah, advantage. I had advantage. Yeah. Yeah, for Jaspero's game, I played a guy who came from a planet that was all about the law, but like a universal law. So they were kind of backwaters, and they were kind of like they were a lot like the Dark Tower the Roland. He was a lot. He basically was a gunslinger, and his whole thing was going out. His whole people thing was going out and dispensing law across the universe, kind of like a Judge Dredd, I am the law kind of situation. He even had it tattooed on his back, like the tenets of law that they ascribe to.
We may be in a United Colonies.
And then after, like, once they reached a certain age, they went off into space and had to go and, like, earn their gun, so to speak, and, like, and go through all that process. And in the game that we were playing, he, like, was wrecking shop as a gunman. He was doing so well. Oh, it was such fun. Like, using a gun in that game is the way to go, I feel. Or a lightsaber.
Everyone will be in the library just in time. If Barrett were here, he'd
We appear to have a visitor.
Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about. Would you care to tell us what happened to our friend? Why you're here and he isn't?
It doesn't matter.
Excuse me? I think you might have us confused with some cutthroat bounty hunters guild.
Well, I'm a cutthroat bounty
Verify
hunter.
Barrett's location and status.
currently assisting the miners on Vectera following a Crimson Fleet attack.
This is just typical. Barrett hands over our ship and our robot to some random employee of that discount mining outfit he uses.
Walter.
And if we hadn't insisted on installing those emergency protocols, I guarantee you
Yes.
this rockbreaker here would be halfway
Yes, I
to-
did.
But that didn't happen. He's here with the artifact.
Thank you, Matteo. Now, let's focus on what's in front of us, shall we? What happened when it was extracted? Did anyone see anything? Hear anything? Interesting. Similar to Barrett's description of the experience, with less embellishment.
Are you hearing this? Do you all believe me now?
Whether it happened or not wasn't in doubt.
If this is the greatest mystery in the universe, why couldn't it be part of the ultimate mystery?
But, gentlemen, can we please focus? Noel, I think it's time we tested your theory.
Right. Let's see. We know the artifacts react to each other. The pieces we already have move when they're in close contact. Now, if we add this new one to the two we already have...
The artifact. If you could place it on the table here.
That's it. Just like the others.
And to imagine, we thought there were only two of them at first.
Oh my god, that's it. They're reacting. Look at how it's coming together. That energy that's arcing between them, no manufactured material in the settled systems can do that. None of them. This proves...
Easy, girl. Breathe. You'll have a heart attack.
She's not the only one. If they're coming together, it's there's a set.
Built by an intelligence outside the settled systems.
Still 2,000 credits for our little wager?
You're on, Walter.
Well, if we had all the answers, it wouldn't be exciting. Now, would it?
Not to take away from the moment, but what are we going to do about our new friend?
So, are you ready to get to work? See if exploration is the life you want to lead. in this
Absolutely
universe
not.
of ours?
I'm leaving. I'm blowing this taco stand.
Fair enough, but you can find me when you're ready. And here, I think you've earned something for bringing the artifact to us. In addition to credits, why don't we set you up with a backpack with some boost capability? You'll need it out in the field anyway.
It is very
Mind your head.
similar to the star map from KOTOR.
I'm at your service, Captain.
Alright. There's one more thing we need to do before we leave. Oh, no. You're right. It absolutely does. I was agreeing with you. Okay, so we can go to the industrial workbench. And from there, I want not clone armor, not clone commando armor. I want... Okay, Death Watch armor is what I want. Okay, so now we can properly narratively do this because we're gonna go airborne armor clothing. My guy's not gonna worry about the helmet. Then we go armor. Then we go... What was that? There we go. And then I can also... Yeah, and then when we're in town, we'll go Sans helmet. How's that look? Not bad. Not bad at all. It's the wrong color. Because again, Praxis is specifically... I wonder. I don't think any coloring option is available, but... Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. No coloring. But still, at least now we narratively look right. And when we're in space, we'll wear the whole thing. I'm going to take the shotgun. Let's take a look and see. Not too bad. Not exactly right, but still not too bad. Now, Jaspero, if you're still in here, do I need to unlock anything to do the bounty hunter thing that you're talking about? Is that a thing that I need to tech into? Where are my skills? Okay, it's all in tech, which makes sense. I think I'm gonna take melee damage though, because Praxis does use a vibro axe as part of his thing. I always go pistols because I love pistols. Dude, everything about the Terramurphs are terrifying. Are you kidding me? Incapacitation. Okay, we got our initials. Okay, I'm going to the Tracker Alliance anyways. Next, so that works out. Yeah, I'm liking the way this is looking. I really wish it was in red and black, though. I mean, I know the Death Watch one is, but I can't wear that as clothing. Alright, Jasper said to see if anybody's in red. Red, you're blue, you're a stormtrooper.
Having brownouts all the time. Mast finally sent someone down there, but nothing's changed.
Oops. These guys are all in blue. These guys are in blue. I think everybody's in blue. Okay, so we have to go to the Trackers Alliance. Yeah. Which is in Aquila City. Which means we have to go talk to the bank people as well, because the bank heist will trigger. But yeah, I think it's better to... I think if you want the most immersion, Jasper, I think you need to turn him... I think we need to turn him Galactic Republic. Which is fine, because I like the Galactic Republic anyways. They're my favorite faction, so... I like them more than the Rebels, because they have the Venator. And the Venator is the best ship. Ships, indeed. I had an idea for a Star Wars character, a Star Wars FFG character who all he wants to be a pirater with a Venator. I don't know what you're talking about. You have plenty to add to the conversation about ships. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love the Venator. I love the design of that thing so much.
You will be scanned as you enter the city.
A diplomatic visa? You got to be kidding. Envoys haven't needed diplomatic visas since the colony.
I'm never gonna get off this planet if you guys keep this up.
And that one's still on the books. New Atlantis Security Charter 2308 Addendum, Article 2, Section 8.
Absolutely.
You made all that up. There is no such addendum. The war ended almost 20 years ago. I am Representative Evans Chisholm of the Freestar Collective. I've been coming here for months trying to ensure continued peace.
I don't make up the laws, Representative. I just enforce them. You have a good day now. Someplace else. How are you today?
Yeah, we should maybe I'll check the board, see if we can't find a Star Wars FFG game that I can trick you into coming to play. Ooh, Jaspro. And what is that in a Star Wars? Is that in Star Wars FFG? That's in your Sunday game, right? Your Saturday game? We need to go to Olympus first to get to... I want to do something, so let me pitch you my Star Wars FFG game. Not that I'm anywhere near ready to GM one, but here's my Star Wars FFG game. I want to do something... I want to do a Star Wars FFG game where it's going to be more or less a custom world, because it's going to be so far into the future of the Star Wars universe that like it won't, like that like it'll all be flavor text the same thing because I'm not going to create all new like weapon manufacturers or anything like that. But it'll be like 1,000 years into the future of Star Wars, and it'll be about a group of players who are like they're so basically there was a droid revolution in my timeline, and the droids revolted, and there was a big war between the between whatever the Republic like organization was and the droids. And during this war, a lot of information was lost. So like the old hyperspace lanes and all of that stuff all kind of got lost because the Star Wars universe relies on droids so much to do like navigation and stuff like that. The droids kind of have the advantage in that regard. So like it's after that war. So droids are really limited and like really looked down upon because they all turned and went and fought humans. And the group would be a group of people who are either Jedi or working with the Jedi and are trying to like reconnect like the outer rim and the inner rim, because all of the hyperspace lanes have been kind of lost, so they have to go rediscover them and like reconnect. And yeah, it would be kind of like a Star Trek thing insofar that they would be going out into the fringes and reconnecting the Star Wars planets together, and then there would be a larger mystery. But that's my Star Wars FFG pitch. Like I said, nowhere near ready to actually run an FFG game. But if I were to run an FFG game, that would be the game I would run.